We're gonna do something fast. Okay, I usually like to make live guides for this. We have a lot of new people coming to the game, especially the PlayStation friends. I'm already getting a lot of questions in the chat. How to solo specific world events, especially the skeleton fleet and stuff like that. So, YouTube, we are going to solo every single world event from the easiest to the hardest. But hardest doesn't mean hard. It's just that maybe the one that you have to be more careful. That's it. Hi YouTube. Hi YouTube. How's it going? Of course, I'm a partner with Instant Gaming, so if you want up to 70% off anything from Instant Gaming, type !games in the chat or check the link in the description. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. Let's go. Now first, we are going to raise a flag. You can raise whichever one you want based on the world event, because you can raid to anyone now. But I'm gonna raise guild because that's what I want to level up, which kind of generalize all world events. However, you raise whatever you want when you do this. And hopefully when I get the guild leveling guide out, you'll find it on the top right up there. Always raise a flag before you get any supplies, because the crates you buy, if you want to buy, give you some reputation, so why not? Tell them about the risk emissary flag. Emissary flags are high risk, high reward, so they amplify your benefit. You might become more visible on the map for other ships and like other reapers and such. Deathars, thank you so much for the tier 1. So keep that in mind. And of course, chat, if you have any input you would like to help all the newcomers to see if Thieves, feel free to slap it in the chat, and I will make sure I'll try my best to read it. Which is number one thing about solo sloping. I'm a newer player and it turn me off sometimes to go solo. The most important thing about solo sloping is maneuvering and spatial awareness. Not the PvP, not everything. Because, you know, I've fought people that are 10 times better than me in PvP, but just because I was able to sneak onto the ship the right time in the right place, they were, you know, gone. Just like Hunt Showdown, you know, like Hunt Showdown, for example. Aiming is very important in that game. But if you don't have the spatial awareness of Hunt Showdown and understanding the audio cues and the sounds, your aiming becomes almost irrelevant if you don't know the stuff that should come before that. Same thing for Sea of Thieves. Ship maneuvering and understanding your surroundings is one of the most important things for solo. Like, for example, I have a streak, whether I'm solo or with a crew. It's been like 6 years now playing Sea of Thieves. My fort, my skull fort, no one in history ever managed to hide on it and steal my stuff. Some people sunk me by force and took my stuff. That's fine. But I'm talking about being sneaky about it, right? There are only certain ways to do things in Sea of Thieves, and once you understand these things, it becomes nearly impossible. So I hope this helps, my friend. Alright, so world events difficulty is based on their order here. So when you go voyages, whichever one you want, Gold Hoarder, Order of Souls, Merchant, Athena's Fortune, all of them have the same raid voyages. Sea Fort, Sunken Shrine, Raid Treasury, Duel with Ashen Lord, Raid of Skeleton Fort, Battle of Skeleton Fort, and Battle of the Skeleton Fleet. But these are not necessarily world events. Like a Sea Fort is not a world event. Sunken Shrine is not a world event. Sunken Treasury is not a world event. I'm talking about world events where you see it in front of you. Which the first one and the most basic one is the duel with an Ashen Lord. Now, let's do Merchant, because I want to reach Distinction 1 in it. These ones are, so might as well just do Merchant. Raid Voyages. And then we're gonna go to a duel with Ashen Lord. And then we go like this. And dive. So now we're going to the Ashen Lord. This is the first world event we're gonna do. So now this is the Ashen Lord. This is the red world event. If you dive to it, the loot you get is different than if you just see it randomly around you. If you are dual sloop, I suggest you get a cannon rowboat, dock it, and both of you hit it at the same time. It will die in like a minute. The reason why I would not shoot this with a cannon from my ship when I'm solo is because the only way for him to attack me is to throw rocks at me. And what will happen is that will break the mast, set the ship on fire, and probably kill me. So if you shoot him from a cannon from the ship while you're solo, you make your life 10 times harder. Now what you can do in the beginning is maybe deal 3 hits, then go there. Because now he's just throwing a tantrum. And then you go there.
Intruders. Let's have some fun.
You see that rock that he threw? If I was still on my ship, he would have thrown it on my ship and it would be hard for me to leave. So all you need to do is just to keep slicing. But there's something else you need to do. You see my ship is here? Let him chase you to the other side. Because this Ashen Lord is 3 phases. The first phase is like this. The second phase, he starts making this, he just gets angrier basically. On the third phase, he throws meatballs from the sky, and that can affect your ship. So right now, we're gonna make the range of his meatballs far from our ship. Alright? So before the third phase, you have to move him away from your ship. Come. I throw things too. Look. This is the first wave. Of course, he's very easy for solo, like his health. Second wave, still okay. He's gonna slap. Okay. I want to bring him more here, inside. So when he reaches the third wave, he doesn't slap. He doesn't do meatballs. Okay, now this is good enough here. That's far from the ship. You'll see when it reaches the third wave how it won't affect the ship. All you need to do is just keep hitting him like this. If you happen to see him in front of you, use a trident on him. Trident makes him die like 3 times faster. But the only problem is, when you dive, that loot stays behind. So that's why I'm not showing the trident thing. Because the trident thing won't be possible if you dive. I'm doing this in the most basic way possible so you can see how fast he dies. Okay? What you need to do also, if you find kegs around and stuff, if you happen to die, leave your ship as soon as possible when you come back. Because you're gonna go back to your ship, he's gonna attack you. So leave your ship as fast as you can. So now he's on the third wave. What he's gonna start doing is doing this meatballs thing. But let me get some food. Yep, there it is. Look at that. So this is why we moved him away. Right now, here's the ship. And here's the meatballs. You see where the radius of it is? It's not affecting us. If he was here, you'll be getting all this to your ship. And you will not be happy. No, I'm gonna die. No, 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 no. Hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot. Keep food with you. He keeps blowing fire. He does it too much, I think. It's not nice. But okay. Of course, I don't have to tell you to keep an eye on the horizon. You know, but usually this is fast. Instead of flying far... Okay, he died. That's it. That's the first one. Ashen Lord, which is the red storm. Because I dived as a merchant, I got merchant items, which is this one. Skull always drops. That's his main item. And I will get this one. Right. And last but not least, Pringles. I don't even know what this is called. Scroll of Charted Waters. If you're a gold hoarder, you'll get another item. If you're a hoarder of souls, you get an Eye of Souls, stuff like that. So, this is world event number 1. We're gonna take the loot right now, sell it, and then move to the second world event. Use blunderbuss on him, a lot of damage. No? Yeah, blunderbuss is really good. I just did it in the most basic way so people can see, like, even in the least damage, how easy it is solo. Because people, when they want to do these, especially new players, because I was there, right? When you want to do a world event, your concern is the unknown. Like, what if I don't know how to do it? What if someone attacks me and sinks me while I'm trying to do it? But now, by showing you this video, you will understand events and how they're done. See how much I'm getting? This is more than what you would get just because there's Community Day, which happens once every season. And you get, like, much more amplified rewards. Now we have sold the stuff. We are going to go for the second world event. Voyages, merchant, raid voyages. They are in order. So we start with the duel with Ashen Lord, a raid to a skeleton fleet. Now this one, I prefer if you have fire bombs. But if not, it's also not a problem. Skeleton fleet, we'll show you right now how it looks like. Okay guys, this is the skull fort. Which is the way it looks. Green eyes, white skull cloud is skull fort. The best, they will start shooting at you like this. Sometimes it might hit you. What I would do is I will just go to the bottom deck and wait until I crash, literally. Because look what happens when you get close. They pop. Because Rare decided it's too hard to go and kill these guys. They auto-kill them for you. So now we are at the Skull Fort. Again, this is like the Ashen Lord we did earlier. The whole world around you can see you. So you better wanna, you might wanna finish it fast. Generally, people care less about these things and they care more about the Fort of Fortune, which is the skull with red scars all over it. And the Fort of the Damned, which is the skull with the red eyes. It's also preferred not to park somewhere where one of these cannons on the tower is aiming at you. Because if I was coming... I'll go up. Boom. Right? So now I parked somewhere where cannons should not be aiming at me, right? This one doesn't reach. That one doesn't reach. In case someone comes, you might be too scared to do world events alone. But I have a video called The Most Powerful Way to Solo Sloop. When this goes on YouTube, you might check it out. How to basically be in the mindset of doing these things and accepting a loss when it happens, because all of us sink, all of us lose. That's a part of the game. When you expect it and put up a fight, even if you lose, at least it's nice. I rarely get attacked from these normal forts. Especially, but I'll show you how to finish it fast. Number one, what you do when you're in a fort like this, especially when you're solo. Now, first you look around. No mermaids, no rowboats, no sus ships minding their own business on the other island. Most people don't mind their own business if they're just parked on another island like this. Like the ship we sunk yesterday on stream. What I would do is blow up all the kegs. Because if I was gonna swim to a fort to deal damage to your ship, assuming I don't bring a keg with me on a rowboat from somewhere else, I will either... the best two ways to attack you is in two ways. Keg your ship, or use a cannon against it. But right now cannons, this one does not reach, like we said. So, we increase our survival chances. Some people leave the kegs for the boss, but you're solo. The boss barely needs like a sneeze to die. So no one would use them against you. Of course, over time, you will get used to keg locations in the game. And you won't miss like this. This fort is bugged. Nothing spawns. This is the only fort that's bugged. Well, YouTube, this fort is bugged. Moving to another one. Alright, let's hope it's not Sailor's, not Stronghold. Let's hope it's not Yes, it's not Sailor's, not Stronghold. It's Kraken's... Fin Camp. I was right. Kraken's Fin Camp. Okay, so the same. They're gonna start shooting at you now. Stand here. Read the newspaper. And then they will pop, like we said before. First, do not stay anchored. Second, make sure that the bottom of the ship is not touching water. I have a video that talks about that, but I don't expect you to, you know, scan all my old videos. If the bottom of the ship is touching solid ground, after 10 minutes, your ship will poof, disappear. I'm sure some of you had ships just suddenly despawn and you thought it's a bug. It's basically the game thinking your ship is stuck, so they're just popping it out of existence. Right now, it's not touching ground, so I'm good. But if this is touching ground, it will disappear. That just happened to me, yeah. Just make sure you blow up all the kegs. I like this fort, I'll show you why later. It's one of the easy ones. When you blow up kegs, make sure that none of the kegs blow up next to your ship, alright? Because sometimes, like, I've seen people blow up a keg here, not knowing that it might have caused, like, one hole in their ship or something. Now, how does a skull fort work? For people that don't know, brand new players, you get waves of skeletons like this, and you keep killing them until you get the final boss. The final boss is a piece of cake solo, and killing him is easier than killing the Ashen Lord we showed earlier. What you can do, instead of fighting skellies, like some behind you, some in front of you, some like this, bottleneck them. Always run into narrow bridges. I don't want to blow up the robot. I like harpoon robots. See, bottleneck. Because they have to go in a straight line now. If you don't know how to do this, which is the sword lunge jump, or basically you can glide on the water if you land on deep waters. Type !sword in the chat, or if you're on YouTube, you should see it up there. It's a YouTube short that should show you how to do it in a very, very fast way. If you jump and hit the top of them, their collider would not stop you. You need to practice on that, but for example, if you go like this, you might not... You see that? You heard that? That's a keg. The one that sounds like this. Like a choking skelly. Another one. I just killed the Ashen Keymaster and the Ashen Guardian. I didn't even know. This is what I just killed fast is the Ashen Keymaster and the Ashen Guardian. They're two red-looking skellies, right? One gives you a map, one gives you a key, one gives you a map for an Ashen chest. That could give you gifts and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm gonna show you now this fast. When I come back from the ferryman. There are two ways to kill him. In this fort, there's one specific to this fort, which is very easy. Literally, just take this cannon right here. And blast him. But, what I would do... He died. That's how fast. What I would do, because not every island has a cannon inside it, this one is a special case. You basically go back to your ship. What he will do is he will come and stand like this. So what he'll start going just like yelling and throwing a tantrum. He doesn't throw things at you like the Ashen Lord. So you just shoot him with a cannon and he dies very fast. But the downside of using a cannon, of course, I don't have in-game music. The boss has a different music when he spawns. So if someone's hiding on your ship, they can tell when you get the boss. So always keep an eye around. Now we get the skull. We get skeleton orders that give us a location of a dig spot, which is kind of right there. And we get the stronghold key. There's gold pouches here. Merchant. I dived to this. There should not be a mega keg. Yep. This is the Scroll of Shrouded Waters. It's a slightly better Pringles can than the one I got from the Ashen Lord. They evolve based on the level you're in. Now we take all these. That's the reason why I kept the robot. We can do it the lazy way. We're good, right? By the way, whoever doesn't know, you can... where's the small stuff? There's no small stuff. You can actually... There's a skull here. Since season 11 also, you can go... Pac-Man, you can pick up stuff from the ground. Now we have 3. Now that you have this robot, that's why I kept it here. You can take the stuff. Alright, we got these now. Alright guys, so now we did Ashen Lord, which is the red tornado. And we did the normal skull fort. Now moving to the next harder difficulty one, which is voyages. See, I'm leveling up, I'm becoming distinction. Raid voyages. By the way, like I showed earlier, these voyages are available in any faction you choose. It's just that the loot that you get is tailored to the faction that you chose. Like if I finish the same skeleton fort that I did under Order of Souls, the loot I will get will be tailored for Order of Souls. For people returning or people that didn't play since a while, this is since season 11 it started. Now we're gonna do the skeleton fleet. This is probably gonna be the most watched part of this video because people tend to struggle with this one. I don't blame you. Firebombs are very important in this situation, which I have absolutely 0 from. So before I go, if you are on a captain ship, if you're not on a captain ship, just try and get some from the outpost. They're not really mandatory, but they make life easier. Now we have 5. I can bring the storage crate in and do that, but I'm showing you like the blueprint of how to do things. Okay. If you have a captain ship, you can go to shipwright and buy a supply, buy these throwables here. Now on solo, most of the time you're gonna get all sloops, and the last one is gonna be a skeleton captain, which is the usually people struggle with. Okay? So we're gonna show you now how to get it done. You go straight. These ones should not hurt you. They should not, because they're just one cannon and they don't do much. Try and aim at their cannon. If you want to know how to aim better than me, look at the video on the top left corner or type !! cannons in the chat. Most important thing here is to not get one-balled, which is a cannonball to the face. Starts moving slow. That means full of water. I got a red hit marker. If you want, throw firebombs on top. That's why you get firebombs. Okay guys, there are several ways to finish this. I know I just shot this one normal. When you sink a ship, birds will spawn to tell you where it is. There are several ways to deal with the skelly galleons. Of course, look around if there's anyone, because there's a fleet above you. I will show you the several ways. You never wanna be in the open. And now another thing, actually, it's getting dark, right? It's good that it's getting dark, because there's something I want to show you. Usually, 90% of the time, whenever you are doing a skeleton fleet or a fort, shadow skeletons spawn, and shadow skeletons are not vulnerable to damage. They're gonna raise my sails now. The main goal of this event, what I'm showing you right now, is dealing with the galleon. Sloops, generally, anyone knows how to deal with them. You just, hit them and they'll be done. Okay, if they come close. Ooh. The best part about doing this is that skellies would pop. There's no one to shoot cannons at you right now. Depending on the side, of course. Do you know why the skeleton ship is malfunctioning? It's because I'm next to a rock. And this is one of the kind of like easiest way to deal with the skeleton galleons. But I'll show you now when it spawns how to deal with it. Because there's a rock and you're parked. They read your input. See how it's moving left, right, left, right, left, right. Look when I turn my wheel. To the right. What happened? They turned their wheel to the right. Because they read your input. There's a ship coming towards me. As soon as I turn to the right, it turned to the right. Because it's waiting for an input from the player, but it doesn't know what to do. I just one-balled him. Do you know why I'm next to this ship? Because skelly ships cannot shoot at short range. So when someone comes, hug the skelly ship. It will start shooting the far one. So technically what I did right now is I hired the skelly ship to shoot that ship. Yeah, these are not scary Reapers either. Some Reapers will come and like smoke me in 2 seconds. Thanks for all advice, 2,000 hours, and it's all started with you. Nerdy cool kid, thank you so much. You're probably way better than me right now. Thank you so much, my friend. They sunk. You don't want to get one-balled. Come on, loot spawn. Okay, that's good for now. I'm gonna leave for a bit. I'll let the skelly galleon spawn on them. Once they're pressured, I'll come back. Oh, they're chasing me. They don't want the skelly ship. They want me. Oh, they want to steal my stuff? How dare they? Alright, Skelly, that's one, yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. One must become AI. Look at that sloop sandwich. How nice is that? Hello. And now you got... They sunk? They sunk! It seems like the person forgot to repair after all this time. And that's why I keep blunderbombs on you. You don't let anyone board you. What they should have done is use this cannon against me when I come. But I'm aware of these things a lot because I use them a lot, so... They brought me Athena stuff. I'll take that. You have to be careful from getting one-balled. The skelly sloops are not a problem, you know? You see them around, practice when you fight them, stuff like this. The problem are these guys. How do you want to deal with that one? The easiest way to deal with that one is the kind of like the most basic and I believe beginner way and safe way, parking next to a rock. Their AI is not very AI. It ain't. What they do is they can only go in one direction. They can only sail in one direction. Once you stop because they read player input, they can only sail in one direction. So for example, this one right now, look how it's gonna be like what's happening? They hit hard, okay? The good thing about parking next to a rock is that they cannot stop and U-turn. They just don't, okay? They cannot park, they cannot do that. What they will do is they will continue around as a rock, around the rock. So what you can do is shoot them and have a breather to keep up. Reminder that you are a newer player or returning player. You might be rusty, so you're not going to be able to be like raise sails and, you know, stop a border or whatever, stuff like that. If you're parked, you fill with water less. Also, another interesting thing. These are shadow skellies. You cannot hit them at night. So here's what you do. You take a flare and you slap it up. What will happen is these skellies will become active. Now you can actually hit the skellies if you throw firebombs and stuff. Of course, I couldn't show you that due to the waves, but... They are active now because there's a flare up there. I don't need to use my lantern. See how they're in fire? Now there shouldn't be any skellies on top. That's why I said firebombs. Now I'm gonna just do this the normal way. But the demonstration of this to hit him every time when this happens is now you know what's happening. I'm gonna now make it the more riskier way, which is just, you know, sail and shoot them. But you see this line? This balcony, this other line right here. This one, the tip of the gun, this one. Under it, you need to shoot. Like right now, it's too close. But if you ram into them and you get a hole, you should get a hole, but you know, Rare says no. Bail into them. You take, let's pretend there's water in the hull. You go and bail into them. Skelly ships cannot bail if you remember. So if you reach this one here, you can put some firebombs on top. It needs another flare. Still no holes. See, now they're gonna pop. I put a flare. You can still shoot them. See, I'm hitting all the way in the bottom now. When you get close... They sunk or what? They sunk, yep. Let's go. See, that was almost effortless. While fighting other ships. Especially if you're sailing, maybe you're on a break with your friends, and suddenly a ship spawns, and you're like, oh no! You know, take fire bombs immediately and spam the top deck with it. Mainly by the cannons. The reason why I did not get merchant loot right here and this got bugged is because another ship came. Another ship, I don't know why Rare coded it like this, which is kind of weird. The Skelly Galleon spawned after another ship came to me, and the other ship was not a ship that dived to the world event. So I got normal loot, not merchant loot. I'm supposed to get the Eye of Souls and stuff like that. Now guys, this one, you can sell it. This is a ritual skull. Mainly it's used to activate Fort of the Damned, which is another world event that I will not cover in this video because I already covered it. You check on the top right. How to solo stack Fort of the Damned. That video was made prior to Season 11. The only difference is you have to, you know, get Skulls of Destiny for that one and Ritual Skulls using Legendary Search for Skull of Destiny. That's the only difference, and then you can solo stack Fort of the Damned. But that Fort world event is a whole different story. It has its own video, so check it out. Okay, now we're gonna go to Morrow's Peak and sell everything. He's here, because it's taking long to load in. Even if I come back, they probably took my ship and sunk it already. Rare, I swear to God. Yeah, we sunk to Rare, literally. Anyways, back to our last world event. YouTube, I got stuck on black screen and my ship crashed and lost all the loot while fighting this crew. So GG to them and to Rare, thank you so much. Anyways, we're gonna go to the last fleet right now. We're gonna do the last world event, which is Flameheart's fleet. It's harder than all the rest. We already finished the skeleton fleet. Right now, we're gonna go back to the last but not least, which is Raid Voyage world event, which is Burning Blade, which is the Ghost Fleet. Now, theoretically, the reason why I don't do this one is because this one gives you the highest tier loot, which is the All-Seeing Eye of Souls or the Talisman for the Athena or something, depending on which faction you're doing, right? But I'm gonna do this in case you want the extra loot that comes from these guard ships that are with it. So let's go. I'm gonna show you how this is done, and we're ready to go. The Hunting of Smuggler's Bay. Now here's the fleet. The fleet is very easy, yet very hard at the same time. We started with a red tornado. We ended with a green tornado. However, YouTube, I'm pretty sure that this year we are getting a brand new world event. So whenever that comes out, it's probably not going to be in this video. I'll create a video for it and I'll pin it up here whenever that happens. Because I have a video that I did in the past that showed how Rare hinted about a new world event that's coming. Probably season 12 or 13, I don't know. This fleet is actually really good for practicing your cannon aim because these have like big colliders. Alright. Every ship in the beginning takes between 1 to 3 hits. Okay? This one takes 3. The thing you have to keep in mind about this fleet, the most important, is that these ships do not sail, do not change direction, they are bound to a path. Like a kid's train toy. They do not turn, they cannot turn left and right like the skeleton fleet. technically, this is easier than the skeleton fleet. You see this one? It's not gonna change left or right. You just hit it like this. 1, 2, 3. So step number 1, it's easier said than done, but it's easy, you know. Do not go on the broadside. You see how I approached the island? I approached the island long ways, like this. And now here. That sound is the ship. This is a Wraith Cannonball. It does 3 holes to your ship. You can use harpoons to turn because you're mostly solo and you're next to the island. So you can hit the ground with harpoons to sail. You see, you notice, as soon as I hit their broadside, they start shooting at me. If you're front and back, no problem. And none of their shots can one-ball you like a skeleton fleet. You can raise halfway. Once you sink a couple of ships, you will get the first wave of bosses. I think we call them grunts or something. Of course, sometimes there's a chance of them dropping storage crates. Usually storage crates or supplies are... They have stuff floating above them, like ghosts. How many ships did I sink? I lost count. 5? So it seems like solo, 5 ships. I sunk 5, right? I killed 5 ships. Now you're gonna get 2 boss ships. One with 2 guards and one with another guard. Okay? They're gonna spawn out anytime. This is storage crates. So if you're running out storage crates, keep going there and getting that stuff. Now the reason why I was like this, because this middle one takes 10 shots to die. Do not broadside these. It gives you a lot of damage. So try and hit it like this. It's literally sailing towards you. Sitting duck. Hit it 10 times before it goes through you. Three. I'm gonna drop sails a bit. Oops. No. Okay, I'm gonna drop anchor. It's okay. Let it go through me. 5. Chain shot. Yes, game. I want chain shots. Yep. 7. If they go through you, this is what happens. You get this damage. It's not so bad. Like, do not panic. The second wave is much harder than the first wave. Never drop anchor like I did, but I wanted to show you what happens if the ship goes through your ship. You get some damage. Of course, depending on the ship, I think of the Flameheart one, which the final ship comes in, it gives you way more damage. Just do not sail broadside them. Also, most important, do not sail straight behind them. Do not do that. That's a very big problem. Because they lay eggs. They lay kegs, literally. They literally lay kegs, and their kegs are not a joke. It can detect when you're in the raycast line of it, and it goes... You hear the sound of it. I'll make you hear it. You heard that sound? That's a ghost chicken laying kegs. There they are. I'm gonna broadside them to also show you the pain you can get. You can sink this one. 3. 1, 2, 3, and 10. Okay. Done. See how much they hit us? Not so much. Of course, keep an eye. If you want to not overwhelm yourself, do not sink the other one before you sink the first, because now the next wave is gonna spawn, which is gonna make getting the loot for me harder. Alright. So now, you should see indicators of where your loot fell when the sun is not that bright. Here's one. And the other one should be somewhere back here. There. Again, I'm getting merchant stuff because I dived as a merchant. 1, 2, 3. If you're on an island like Snake Island, you can sometimes, if the ships are on the other side, use the cannons from the island to hit them, which we did that yesterday on stream. I'll stay anchored for now, because I'm lazy. This one does 3 holes. This is the Wraith Cannonball, basically, that you get from the final ship. How many did we kill? 2 of the second wave. This is 3. This one we hit before, because you can tell it looks scarred, so this one should kill it. Yep. So this is what could happen if you go over the kegs. If I didn't catch the ladder, I would have been sunk. I'll pretend I've done this on purpose. See what I sacrificed for YouTube? Someone wasn't paying attention to his own guides. Oh no, I never do. I always say do what I say, not what I do. If a skeleton ship spawns, they will... Okay, now the fact that they disappeared, that means the final wave is out. This is the Burning Blade. Black sails with a heart on it. So these are actually very easy. Like I said, do not broadside them, just spark straight one of them. And fun fact, kegs do not spawn in the floating barrels when you are in a world event. So there's Flame Heart, this one, and there should be a third one. A third group like that one. You can decide how much loot you get from this one. If you sink this one first, these guys will despawn because this is the final boss. But if you sink these ones first, you will get their loot, then you sink that one. Skelly ship behind me, of course. You know why? Because I'm close to another sloop there. That's literally, the game is hard-coded like this. Every time you get close to a ship, spawn everything. The good thing is, that ship will help me now fighting these Skelly ships. Rare, you forgot the Kraken! This way I'll make the video called I got attacked by everything. Okay, at least we got what I wanted to do. Now Flameheart's alone. Oh, so sad. You know what, guys? I'm gonna just sink Flameheart and get her over with. You see that one? Just like I did earlier. Sink that one in the middle, you get some loot. Sink the other one, you get some loot. Then you sink Flameheart. It takes 15 hits, I think, solo, this one. 1, 2, 9, 10, 13, 14. It should be 15, so maybe earlier in the midst of chaos, we accidentally hit it once. Now, because I killed this one, all the others despawned. Now, again, if you see this as a world event, you get way more loot than this. Look what you get here. Pringles. Same one. Here's the deal. Why would I not do the Flameheart fleet? I do not recommend at its current state to do on any of the raid voyages the Flameheart fleet. It takes the longest, it gives you just a bit more loot. It's harder to finish, generally harder to finish. You saw what happened with me. Okay, even though, you know, I could have done better, but yeah. Plus, this is what you get from the skeleton fleet. This is the highest tier merchant item right now. Just like the all-seeing Eye of Souls, which is the highest order of souls, and the other things here. There's a ship here. If you are looking for this, you don't even have to do, unless you want it for other commendations. Just do the normal skeleton fleet. Not that one that we did, because it takes longer and you get the same thing. Do the skeleton fleet, it's faster, easier, more fun, less buggy. Now we're gonna sell. Of course, if you are not captain ship, you have to sell them to the merchant or to the actual NPC of theirs. To be able to sell to the sovereigns, you need to have a captain ship, which is, you get it when having sloop to 150,000 gold. This is how you solo all world events. I'm pretty sure there's a new world event coming this year. YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. And chat, whoever done this. I stream 4 times a week. Sea of Thieves, Skull and Bones, Hunt Showdown, Once Human when it comes out, and other games. So, follow. And until next time.